Yo guys, thank you for picking up the Beast Nutrition Program, and in this particular video we're going to be covering some basic points before you dive in to the ebook and to the modules below. We're just going to be covering what to expect over the next few weeks and how you can get the best possible results from this eating program. So the first thing you need to know is this program is only going to work as well as you follow it. It's all laid out. We give you everything you need to succeed with it. But you have to do it. Don't take this program and don't pick and choose, things from other programs and implement them with this one. So here's the deal, guys. There's a lot of nutrition programs that work, and they all work for different reasons. So if you're picking and choosing different things from different nutrition programs and putting them together, they may clash where it stops certain aspects of the programs. It stops them from working, So if you're doing intermittent fasting and 5 meals a day and ketogenic and low carb, and you're taking all these little pieces from different diets and piece them together, there's a chance that things are not going to mesh because of the way the specific diets work. All right, so this particular diet's an old school kind of diet. It's 5 meals a day. Basically 5. You could do 6 or 7. We talk about that in the book. And as low as 4, depending on how many times a day you can eat. But we talk about how you can kind of split that up in the book. But I would say 5 is a good number. 5 meals a day, mostly low carb throughout the day, high protein, moderate fat, and then fibrous carbs on the majority of the days. Now here's how the program works. Every 4 days, you get to carb up before you go to bed. So you have a high carb meal before you go to bed. We give you the amount of carbs you eat. It's a lot of carbs. So just be ready for it. It may not seem feasible in the first few weeks, but if you stick with it, it will be, and it will pay off. So every 4 days you get a high carb meal before you go to bed, and it's not crap. It's not like a cheat meal. It's it's healthy carbs. Okay, your oatmeals, sweet potatoes, that sort of thing. All right, so every 4 days you get to carb up, and there's a few different ways why the carb up meal works. Okay, the first is that it replaces the glycogen in your muscles that you tend to lose when you're weight training, and especially if you're on a low carb diet. So it replaces that those glycogen stores, speeds up your metabolism, keeps you pumped for the next day's workout. This way you're not. A lot of times guys go on low carb diets and they crash at the end of the week. They're just like spent because they're training hard in the gym. They go to work during the day usually or at night, and they don't have any carbs for energy. So every 4 days when you carb up, it's going to last you a few days and keep your energy levels up. And also the last thing is it positively influences your hormone profile to help keep you in a fat burning state. So those are the few pointers that high carb meals do. And as long as you're eating the right types of carbs, you're in a good spot. We go over all that in the ebook. All right. The next thing you need to know is that this program is very, very, very simple to implement. It's not hard. Okay. It's not like quantum physics or anything like that. It's straightforward. We give you the amount of calories to eat. We explain everything and why it works. But here's the catch. It's not easy. Okay. There's going to be days where you may feel tired. There's going to be days where you may not feel like you want to work out, but you're going to have to push through. I mean, you have to figure out what your priorities are. You have to figure out how bad you want it. Okay, so as long as you're eating in the calorie range that's based on your body weight that we give you at the end of the ebook, you're going to be fine. The only thing you don't want to do is not eat. Okay, so you want to make sure you figure out your amount of calories, which we give you again at the end of the ebook. Figure that out. Start off on the low end of the rep range, and then you can tweak it from there. Again, we give you all this stuff in the actual download. All right. The next thing you need to know is that you're going to have to prepare your meals. Unless you're paying somebody to prepare the meals for you, where there are services nowadays that do that, and they're gaining more and more popularity. Unless you have the money to do that, you're going to have to prepare your own. I prepare my own on Sundays. That's what I do. I know every Sunday I want to take a couple hours and prepare my food. Does it suck? Yes, it sucks. But you have to figure out what the price is you want to pay to get the results that you want. And that's what it comes down to. So prepare your meals. Don't be lazy with that. Because when you stop preparing your meals, that's when you start falling off the wagon and you start veering off onto the wrong path and ordering food during lunch at work, or ordering out dinner and trying to make healthy choices. But a lot of times the choices that you think are healthy are not really healthy. So prepare your meals, know exactly what's going into your meals. Start reading nutrition labels, figure out how to do that. It's not hard, guys. It just takes a little bit of practice and a little bit of time, all right? It's totally doable. The next thing I want to talk to you about is alcohol. If you're doing this program, I cannot stress this enough, no alcohol, zero, no beer, no bourbon. I'm a big bourbon fan. No bourbon, no scotch, nothing like that, okay? If you really want great, awesome results with dieting and eating very, very clean, and you really want to lean out, and you really want to put on a decent amount of muscle, you got to watch your alcohol consumption. Alcohol is bad, all right? Yes, a couple of drinks here and there are great, especially if you're out and you're drinking socially, it's great. But if you have really stringent goals and you really want to stick to a plan, you got to put the beer down. You got to put the alcohol down. All right, alcohol, number one, it's empty calories, so you're adding calories to your diet. So if you're already in a caloric deficit and you have 5 drinks, you know, you're adding, you know, a few hundred calories to your diet. It screws up your caloric deficit for the day. The next thing is when you're drinking, a lot of times you don't really care what you eat, especially if you're pretty drunk. You just eat whatever's available because you just don't care and make poor decisions. And the third thing is it messes with protein synthesis. It kind of messes with your absorption of protein and slows down your metabolism a little bit. Those are all negative things that take a few days to recover from, especially if you're hungover. If you're hungover, then you're not going to be eating properly that day. You're probably not going to want to eat at all, and then you're playing catch up, you know. So no alcohol. Do the best you can to not drink alcohol, and I guarantee that if you don't drink alcohol over the next 6 weeks, which may be hard for some of you, but if you don't do it, your results will skyrocket, and you will get the best results you've ever had. Okay. Last few things to keep in mind. Read the ebook, guys. Don't skimp on the ebook. Everything is in there. It's not hard. It's very simple. It's simplified. It's a simplified program. A lot of programs are all over the place. Very simplified, okay? Every day is low carb, and then 2 days a week, you know, every 4 days you carb up before bed. That's all. That's it. And all you got to do is really follow the appendix at the end for your custom calorie counts for your high carb meals and your regular low carb meals. And that's it. But make sure you read the ebook so you figure out why exactly this program works and what makes it work so well. All right. Last couple things, recommended products down in the section, toggle section below. We give you some supplements that might be beneficial for you. Now, let me go on the record and say this. Supplements are not necessary. However, if your nutrition is already in a good spot, you know, it may be worth looking into. A good protein shake never hurt anybody, and it's a good replacement if you can't actually get a meal. You can actually still get something in your system. And, you know, custom multivitamin, things like that. So check those out. These are products that I use myself. I think they're awesome. The ingredients are great, top of the line stuff. Check those out, but I don't care what supplements you use if you use supplements. It doesn't bother me if you use different ones. I don't care. And then the last thing, guys, the last thing you need to know is ask questions. Down at the last toggle section is, you know, click on it and you can tweet me or write me a direct message, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions and, you know, make changes if need be. If you can't eat certain foods or whatever, feel free to reach out. You know, my thing is this. I'm not some guy online that's just selling you programs and it's, you know, that I'm unreachable. I want to make myself available to you guys because ultimately I want to see you guys succeed. I want to see you guys get lean and ripped and jacked and strong. That's why I'm putting these programs out there, you know. So the more I can help you, if you have any questions, you know, the better off everybody is. So, you know, if you have any questions, shoot them my way on Twitter. My Twitter handle is down below on the last toggle section. Make sure to follow me. And, you know, who knows, maybe if you ask a good question, I'll shoot a custom video for you and give you a shout out. All right, guys, so read through the toggle sections. Thanks for sticking with me through this video. I know it ran a little long, 8 minutes, but read through the toggle sections below. And let me know if you have any questions, all right? But I look forward to seeing your results with this program. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you soon.